Hello everyone, Swaroop here. Welcome back to yet another video. For today, I have something that I normally don't share, and that's my art journal. And instead of an art journal, I decided to show you a slightly larger piece of canvas, or rather watercolor paper. And these are techniques I normally use in my art journal, and decided to share it with you all. I will be using a variety of Faber-Castell products, and of course the stamps are going to be by Unity Stamp Company, and I will definitely try to leave a link below to the stamps, or I have shown you visuals during the course of the video. If you are interested in those particular stamps, you can definitely take a look. And to start with, these are the supplies that I will be using. These are Faber-Castell gelatos, and I might not be using gesso, and I will be using something called bead gel, and that's nothing but translucent gel filled with glittery beads, which gives a beautiful shine. Towards the end of the video you will be able to see that better. And I have used a direct stamp to paper technique, where I rub the gelatos on the stamp, mist it with a slight air of water, and then stamp it. Depending on the amount of water you spray, your image would be slightly lighter, darker, thicker, opaque, transparent. So it all depends upon the amount of water that you spray, and that is what you'll be seeing me doing. And of course, usually for art journals I do apply a layer of gesso, just to make my paper less porous. But for today I thought maybe I could try actually this is the first time I'm trying without gesso, and that was definitely a last minute decision. And I thought I should try something different. I always gessoed my paper and wanted to give these gelatos a try, where I am not doing that. And the only reason I use gesso in my art journals is because I need my paper less porous, and if you're using gelatos direct to paper and then you want to blend it with your fingers, they blend far better when you have gessoed your paper, because that gives you a kind of a layer to begin with, and it smoothens the paper, and it makes it of course less porous, and that reduces the absorption of the gesso into the paper, so it kind of stays right on top, and that makes it easy to blend with just with your fingers. But here I was going to be using a brush, so I thought there was no need for that particular step. I don't think it would have made a huge difference if I had, but either way the end result turned out just beautiful and to my liking. So I think you can go either ways with the gesso, but for today I have not used that. And then I of course stamped the image using Stamper's big brush pen, and that is again by Faber-Castell. Those are Pitt pens, and those are filled with India ink, and this ink is perfect when you want something permanent, and they don't bleed when you apply water on top. So it's ideal when you are working with mixed media, where you just keep layering different mediums, and then you don't know at what point you're going to be applying water. So I thought the main focal image was the face. I did not want to ruin it with too much of especially the eyes. I did not want to have an end result which is totally muddy. So what I did was just the eyes, the nose and the lips I used India ink, and that was a big brush pen, and the rest I used distress ink, so that I could go back with a wet brush and just dampen the areas, and that would make the whole thing spread out a bit and bleed and soften the edges. So that is what I have done with the face. And of course the flowers or the poppies are two-step stamps. So you have the outline stamps and the fillers. So what I did was I went first with the filler and then went back with India ink again, that is the big brush pen, black, and did the outline, and again went back with a red pen and just added a little bit of shading kind of just to darken bits and parts of it, and once again went over it with a little bit of gelato, and again went over it with a damp brush. And all this was just to darken the flowers a bit, because I wanted them to really pop, and that's the reason I went back with the damp brush. So for the background, I have used distress ink, a stencil, and I just pounced it with a wedge, and once it was slightly dry, I went over it with the glass bead gel, and that was just to add texture to the back of the background. And also I've used the same for the flowers, and once it dries, it becomes really transparent, kind of rather translucent, and you can still see a little bit of the background color there, but the texture and the sparkle is simply wonderful. So this is my project for you today. I really hope you enjoyed it, and for me it was something different that I had not shared before, so I really had a good time. And because of the size of this project, it was a little hard for me to capture it under camera all at once. I've never done such a large piece on camera, so I apologize if it is not really under if you're not able to see bits and parts of it a bit. But either way, thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.